What if the real secret to rapid fat loss isn't about cutting carbs or starving yourself, but about retraining one simple hormone to work for you instead of against you? Most of us have been taught that weight loss is about willpower, diets, or endless workouts. But what if your body already knows how to burn fat? It's just that your insulin has been sending mixed signals. Insulin isn't the enemy. It's a messenger, a powerful hormone that tells your body when to store energy and when to release it. When it's balanced, insulin helps your metabolism run smoothly, like a perfectly tuned engine. But when it's out of balance, even healthy foods can trigger your body to hold onto fat, especially deep, stubborn, visceral fat. Here's the thing: your body doesn't want to be in survival mode all the time. When we skip meals, over-restrict, or rely on fad diets, insulin becomes erratic. That's why even after losing weight, so many people quickly gain it back. The problem isn't your effort, it's your chemistry. But when you learn how to retrain insulin to respond properly again, everything changes. Your energy stabilizes, your cravings quiet down, and your body naturally starts releasing fat without starvation, without extremes. In this video, we're going to break down how to restore that balance so your metabolism becomes a 24/7 fat burning system that melts away deep belly fat while improving your focus, mood, and long-term health. I'm curious, have you ever noticed how some people seem to lose fat almost effortlessly while others struggle no matter how disciplined they are? That difference often comes down to hormonal balance, not willpower. I'd love to hear your experiences and thoughts in the comments. I read them all, and your story might help someone else feel less alone in their journey. Insulin is one of those hormones that quietly controls almost everything about how your body uses food for energy. Every time you eat, especially something that contains carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. In response, your pancreas releases insulin, a hormone whose main job is to escort that sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells. Think of insulin as a key that unlocks the door, allowing glucose to enter the cell so it can be used for energy. It's a brilliant system when it's in balance. But when insulin gets triggered too often or stays elevated for too long, that same mechanism starts working against you. Here's how it happens. When you eat, your body's first priority is to handle glucose. Insulin tells your cells, hey, there's energy available, let's use it. But once your immediate energy needs are met, insulin has another instruction. It tells the body to store the excess. Some of that energy goes into the liver and muscles as glycogen. But when those stores are full, the remaining energy gets converted into fat, often around the abdomen and internal organs. That deep, visceral fat is the most metabolically active type, meaning it doesn't just sit there. It sends out inflammatory signals that keep insulin levels high. This becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. High insulin causes more fat storage, and more fat storage keeps insulin high. In the past, our ancestors rarely experienced this constant cycle. Meals were simpler, less frequent, and sugar wasn't added to nearly everything. Today, though, many people unknowingly spike insulin 5, 6, or even 10 times a day. Morning coffee with sugar, a mid-morning snack lunch with refined carbs, an afternoon treat, dinner, and maybe something sweet before bed. All of those moments tell your pancreas to release more insulin. Over time, your cells begin to tune out the signal, much like ignoring a notification you've seen too many times. This state is called insulin resistance. It means that your body has to release even more insulin to get the same effect, and eventually, high insulin becomes your body's new normal. When insulin is constantly elevated, fat burning comes to a halt. Your body essentially gets the message, we'll have plenty of energy coming in, so don't use what's stored. This is why so many people find that even when they cut calories or increase exercise, the scale won't move. They're fighting against their own hormonal signals. Insulin is acting like a gatekeeper, locking fat away and refusing to release it. And here's where the misunderstanding happens. Many people think they've failed because they lack willpower. They assume they're not disciplined enough, when in reality, their biochemistry is simply overriding their effort. When your insulin is high, hunger hormones like ghrelin rise, while satiety hormones like leptin become less effective. This means you feel hungrier, crave carbs more intensely, and struggle to feel satisfied after eating. It's not a character flaw, it's chemistry. Research has shown that people with high fasting insulin levels often have a much harder time losing weight, even when eating the same number of calories as someone with normal insulin sensitivity. Calories still matter, but how your body processes those calories depends on hormonal context. You could eat a low-calorie meal that spikes insulin and pushes fat storage, or a more balanced meal that keeps insulin steady and encourages fat burning. The problem is that most modern diets never address this. Instead, they focus on restricting food groups or counting calories, which can create short-term results but often worsen the underlying imbalance. For example, when you chronically restrict calories, your body perceives it as stress. Cortisol rises, insulin becomes less sensitive, and eventually, weight loss stalls. It's the body's way of protecting you from perceived famine. Balancing insulin isn't about deprivation, it's about teaching your body to trust that energy will come consistently and in the right form. When insulin levels start to drop back into a healthy rhythm, something remarkable happens. Your cells regain sensitivity, your metabolism wakes up, and fat begins to release naturally. You no longer feel like you're battling cravings every hour. Instead, your energy evens out, your appetite regulates itself, and your body starts to burn fat efficiently, even between meals. This is why understanding insulin is such a turning point for so many people. It reframes the struggle. It's not that you've been weak or lazy, it's that your body has been stuck in the wrong hormonal mode. Once you learn how to calm those constant insulin spikes and retrain your metabolism to burn rather than store, fat loss becomes less of a battle and more of a natural byproduct of balance. It's easy to assume that if cutting carbs or skipping meals worked for someone else, it should work for you too. Keto and fasting are often praised as metabolic reset buttons, and for some people, they do bring quick results. But for many others, the weight creeps back, energy crashes, and cravings return stronger than before. The reason isn't lack of discipline, it's that the underlying insulin resistance never truly healed. When insulin remains dysregulated, even the most popular diets become short-term fixes instead of long-term solutions. The body isn't a machine that can be forced into submission. It's a living system that's constantly trying to maintain balance. When we use extreme restriction, whether it's fasting for long stretches or cutting out nearly all carbs, the body perceives it as a form of stress. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, starts to rise. In small amounts, cortisol can help with fat mobilization, but when it stays high for too long, it tells your body to conserve energy and store more fat, especially around the midsection. This survival mechanism is ancient. It's your body's way of protecting you from famine. So even as you're trying to burn fat, your hormones are trying to do the opposite. Many people begin keto or fasting with good intentions. In the early stages, insulin levels drop, water weight shids, and the scale responds quickly. But as the weeks go on, the body starts to adapt. Metabolism slows because your system thinks it needs to preserve energy. Thyroid hormones can decrease, reproductive hormones can shift, and hunger cues can become more erratic. You might start to feel tired, cold, or mentally foggy. And when you eventually eat more normally again, your body, still on high alert from perceived starvation, rapidly stores that energy as fat. This is what creates the frustrating cycle of yo-yo dieting. The hidden issue is that most of these diets approach the problem backward. They treat food as the enemy instead of teaching the body how to respond to food properly. When insulin resistance is active, your cells are like locked doors. No matter how little you eat, your body struggles to access the fat for fuel. That's why people can eat perfectly on keto or fast diligently and still plateau. It's not the macros or the fasting window, it's that the hormonal signals for energy use are still misfiring. There's also a psychological component that's rarely talked about. Chronic restriction keeps your nervous system in a state of tension. You become hyper-aware of what you're eating when you're eating and how much you're allowed. This mental rigidity can lead to guilt, binge patterns, and stress, all of which spike cortisol and keep insulin from normalizing. The harder you try to control, the more your body resists. It's not self-sabotage. It's self-protection. Real healing happens when you stop fighting your metabolism and start rebuilding its trust. Your body wants to burn fat, it just needs to feel safe enough to do it. That means giving it steady signals instead of extremes. Balanced meals that combine protein, fiber, and healthy fats help insulin respond gently instead of spiking sharply. Eating at regular times tells your body that nourishment is consistent. Getting enough sleep and managing emotional stress also lower cortisol, which in turn helps insulin sensitivity improve. These small, consistent actions send a message to your system: we're safe. You can release the stored energy now. Think of metabolism like a thermostat. When it's working properly, it automatically adjusts to keep things steady. But when it's been thrown off by years of dieting, deprivation, or insulin overload, the settings get confused. Your goal isn't to force it higher or lower. It's to help it recalibrate. Healing your metabolism means restoring flexibility so your body can shift easily between using carbs and fat for fuel. That flexibility is what true metabolic health looks like. This shift also changes your mindset around food. Instead of fearing certain foods, you begin to notice how your body feels after eating them. You can tune into signals of hunger and fullness without anxiety. You stop labeling food as good or bad and start focusing on balance and rhythm. This approach not only restores metabolic health, but also brings a sense of peace around eating. When insulin sensitivity improves, something powerful happens. You no longer have to chase results through restriction. Your body starts doing the work naturally. Energy stabilizes, fat loss becomes sustainable, and your mood and focus improve. The process becomes less about battling your biology and more about aligning with it. True transformation isn't about punishing the body into submission, it's about teaching it to trust you again. Once that trust is rebuilt, everything else, weight loss, energy, and lasting health, begins to fall into place almost effortlessly. When you start to understand the science of insulin, you realize that fat loss isn't just about eating less. It's about creating the right conditions inside your body for your metabolism to work as it was designed to. Doctors and metabolic researchers have shown that insulin is the master regulator of energy use. When it's balanced, every system in your body, your liver, muscles, and even your brain works more efficiently. But when insulin is chronically high, your metabolism gets stuck in storage mode. The good news is that with a few science-backed adjustments, nutrient pairing, food timing, and restorative habits, you can gently guide insulin back into balance and reawaken your fat-burning machinery. Let's start with nutrient pairing. Every food you eat sends a hormonal message. Carbohydrates, especially refined ones, trigger a spike in blood sugar, which leads to a rise in insulin. But when you pair carbs with protein, fiber, and healthy fats, the digestive process slows down. This means glucose enters your bloodstream gradually instead of all at once. In turn, insulin releases more steadily, allowing your body to use energy rather than store it. Doctors often describe this as flattening the glucose curve. The flatter your blood sugar curve, the calmer your insulin response, and the easier it becomes for your body to tap into stored fat between meals. For example, if you start your morning with a pastry and coffee, your blood sugar skyrockets, followed by a crash that leaves you craving more sugar by mid-morning. But if you have eggs with avocado toast or Greek yogurt with nuts and berries, your body digests the meal slowly, keeping insulin steady for hours. You stay full longer. Your energy stays consistent and your body remains in a balanced state that supports fat metabolism. Food timing plays another major role. The human body has a natural rhythm known as the circadian cycle, which influences everything from digestion to hormone release. Insulin sensitivity is higher earlier in the day and decreases as evening approaches. That means your body processes food more efficiently in the morning and afternoon than it does late at night. Studies have shown that people who eat most of their calories earlier, say breakfast and lunch, have better blood sugar control and burn more fat compared to those who eat heavily in the evening. Simply shifting your biggest meal from dinner to midday can significantly improve insulin sensitivity and fat burning capacity over time. Spacing meals also matters. When you constantly graze or snack throughout the day, insulin never has a chance to drop fully. But giving your body breaks between meals, 3 to 4 hours without eating, allows insulin levels to return to baseline. During this time, your body switches from using glucose to accessing stored fat for energy. It's not about extreme fasting, it's about rhythmic eating that allows both fuel sources, carbs and fat, to be used in balance. Another key factor is recovery. Many people underestimate how much sleep and stress impact insulin. Even one night of poor sleep can make your cells more insulin resistant the next day, leading to higher blood sugar and more cravings. Chronic stress works the same way. Cortisol, your stress hormone, raises blood sugar and keeps insulin elevated. That's why building in recovery habits like deep breathing, short walks, or simply getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep can have a profound effect on fat metabolism. These habits help the body feel safe, which lowers cortisol and restores insulin sensitivity naturally. Doctors who study metabolic health often emphasize that when you stabilize insulin, you don't have to force fat loss. It starts happening automatically. As insulin drops to healthy levels, the hormone glucagon becomes more active. Glucagon signals your body to release stored energy, unlocking the fat that's been trapped in cells. Your liver starts converting that fat into ketones, a clean burning fuel for your brain and muscles. This is what's known as metabolic flexibility, the ability to shift seamlessly between burning carbs and fat depending on what's available. When you have this flexibility, you no longer depend on willpower or crash diets. Your body handles energy naturally, just as it's meant to. This balance also improves other hormones connected to weight regulation. Leptin, which tells your brain when you're full, begins to work properly again. Ghrelin, which triggers hunger, becomes more stable. Your energy stabilizes throughout the day, so you're less likely to rely on caffeine or sugar for quick boosts. You feel clear-headed, calm, and satisfied rather than driven by constant cravings. The real beauty of this approach is that it doesn't rely on extremes. You don't have to cut out entire food groups or live in a state of restriction. Instead, you learn how to create hormonal harmony with everyday choices, how to combine foods in a way that keeps insulin calm, how to respect your body's natural timing, and how to care for your nervous system so it can rest and repair. When all of these pieces work together, nutrient pairing, meal rhythm, recovery, and self-regulation, your metabolism becomes self-sustaining. Fat loss stops feeling like a fight. Your body transitions from fat storing mode to fat burning mode quietly, almost effortlessly, because it finally has the conditions it needs to do what it was designed to do, maintain balance and health without constant struggle. When your insulin sensitivity improves, your body starts to remember how to function in its natural rhythm again. Instead of constantly storing fuel, it begins to use it efficiently. This is what people mean when they talk about being in fat burning mode. It's not a quick fix or a temporary state. It's the way your body is supposed to operate when hormones are balanced. Insulin sensitivity is the key that unlocks this 24/7 fat burning system, allowing you to burn visceral fat for energy, not just during workouts, but even while you're sleeping, sitting, or working throughout the day. Visceral fat, the deep fat that surrounds your organs, is metabolically active. That means it interacts with your hormones and your metabolism constantly. When insulin levels are high, this fat becomes stubborn and unresponsive. It clings tightly because your body thinks it needs to store energy for later. But when insulin levels start to normalize, that signal reverses. Your body begins to view fat not as something to store, but as something to use. The stored energy locked inside those cells becomes available again. This shift is incredibly powerful. Once your cells become more insulin sensitive, they open up to receiving and using energy efficiently. Your liver, which plays a central role in regulating blood sugar and fat metabolism, begins to burn fat more readily. Your muscles start to take up glucose for fuel instead of leaving it floating in your bloodstream. As insulin levels stay balanced, your body becomes flexible. It can switch between burning carbohydrates and fat seamlessly. That flexibility means that even when you're resting, you're still tapping into stored fat for energy. Imagine waking up in the morning with stable energy instead of needing coffee just to function. That's one of the first signs your body is in this 24/7 fat burning mode. When your cells are sensitive to insulin, your energy supply becomes steady. There are no sharp drops that leave you tired or craving sugar because your body has constant access to fuel. You don't need to snack every couple of hours to feel okay. Instead, your metabolism quietly takes care of itself. This steady energy also brings mental clarity. When your brain runs on a combination of glucose and ketones, a byproduct of fat metabolism, you experience smoother focus and better concentration. That mid-afternoon fog that used to hit so hard begins to fade. You feel more alert, more emotionally stable, and more capable of making good decisions around food and lifestyle because your body isn't constantly sending distress signals for quick energy. Reduced cravings are another powerful effect of balanced insulin. When your insulin is high, your blood sugar tends to swing up and down rapidly, triggering hunger and intense urges for carbs or sweets. But once insulin stabilizes, those swings flatten out. You start to feel hunger in a calm, predictable way instead of as an emergency. You can enjoy food without feeling controlled by it. It's an empowering shift, one that makes sustainable eating feel natural rather than forced. This state of hormonal harmony also improves the quality of your sleep. As insulin levels stabilize and cortisol lowers, your nervous system spends more time in rest and repair mode. Deep sleep improves, and with that comes better recovery, stronger immunity, and a faster metabolism. The cycle feeds itself. Better sleep means lower insulin resistance. And lower insulin resistance means even more efficient fat burning. It's your body healing itself through consistency and balance. Long term, maintaining insulin sensitivity protects you from more than just weight gain. It lowers inflammation, supports heart health, and reduces the risk of metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes and fatty liver. It also preserves your body's ability to respond to stress without breaking down. When your metabolism runs efficiently, your hormones, mood, and energy remain steady even in challenging situations. You're no longer in a reactive state. Your body feels grounded and supported. What's interesting is that this process doesn't require extremes. You don't need to spend hours in the gym or cut out entire food groups. What matters is consistency, small daily choices that keep insulin calm and energy steady. Choosing real, whole foods over processed ones, staying hydrated, getting sunlight during the day, sleeping well at night, and allowing time between meals all help keep your body in its natural fat burning rhythm. Over time, as your metabolism heals, you start to notice subtle but profound changes. Your clothes fit differently, your mood lifts, your focus sharpens, and your cravings lose their grip. You feel more at ease in your body because it's no longer fighting you. It's working with you. The shift from fat storing mode to fat burning mode is not about forcing change through willpower. It's about creating the right environment for your body to do what it already knows how to do. When your insulin sensitivity is strong, your metabolism runs quietly in the background, doing its job around the clock. Even at rest, your body continues to release stored energy, fuel your mind, and repair itself. That's the true power of balance. It gives you freedom. Freedom from constant hunger, from energy crashes, and from the exhausting cycle of dieting and regaining. It's not about chasing the next trick, it's about learning how to support the remarkable system that's been designed to keep you thriving day and night. Retraining your insulin naturally doesn't require a complicated plan or strict discipline. It's about consistent, gentle habits that send your body steady messages of safety and balance. Small changes practiced regularly can completely reshape how your metabolism works. When these habits become part of your rhythm, your hormones start to recalibrate automatically. You don't have to chase results. Your body begins to respond in the way it was designed to. One of the simplest but most powerful changes is starting your day with a balanced breakfast. What you eat in the morning sets the hormonal tone for the rest of the day. When you skip breakfast or start with sugary foods, your blood sugar spikes quickly, leading to a sharp insulin rise and a crash that triggers hunger and fatigue. A balanced breakfast, on the other hand, contains protein, fiber, and healthy fats like eggs with vegetables and avocado, Greek yogurt with nuts and berries, or a protein smoothie with greens and seeds. These foods keep insulin steady and help you feel full for hours, reducing cravings later in the day. Movement after meals is another simple yet highly effective practice. Even a short 10 to 15-minute walk after eating helps your muscles absorb glucose from your bloodstream without needing as much insulin. Studies show that light movement can lower post-meal blood sugar by up to 30%. It's not about intensity, it's about timing. A gentle walk, light stretching, or even doing chores after meals can make a measurable difference in how your body processes food. Hydration is often overlooked, but it's essential for insulin sensitivity. When you're even mildly dehydrated, your blood becomes more concentrated, which makes it harder for insulin to move glucose into cells efficiently. Drinking water throughout the day helps maintain fluid balance and supports the transport of nutrients and hormones. Adding minerals like magnesium or a pinch of sea salt to your water can further support insulin function. Since magnesium plays a crucial role in how your cells respond to insulin, sleep may be one of the most underrated fat loss tools. When you don't get enough rest, your stress hormones rise and your cells become less responsive to insulin. Even one night of poor sleep can increase insulin resistance the next day, leading to higher cravings and lower energy. Prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep allows your body to repair tissues, balance hormones, and reset your metabolism. A consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up around the same time, helps regulate your internal clock, improving your body's natural insulin rhythm. Stress control is another cornerstone. Chronic stress keeps your body in a state of alert, flooding your system with cortisol. This hormone raises blood sugar and tells your body to hold on to fat, especially around the abdomen. Learning to manage stress doesn't mean eliminating it. It means giving your body regular opportunities to return to calm. Simple practices like deep breathing, meditation, prayer, time in nature, or journaling can lower cortisol and improve insulin sensitivity. Even taking a few slow breaths before eating can help your body digest food more effectively by shifting you into a relaxed parasympathetic state. Food quality also matters. Choosing whole, unprocessed foods helps your body recognize and metabolize nutrients more efficiently. Refined carbs, seed oils, and added sugars overwhelm your system and keep insulin elevated. Whole foods, vegetables, lean proteins, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats create a slow, balanced release of energy. Protein is particularly important because it not only stabilizes blood sugar but also supports muscle, which acts like a sponge for glucose. The more lean muscle you maintain, the more efficiently your body handles insulin. It's also worth mentioning that timing and consistency play a huge role in retraining insulin. Eating at roughly the same times each day helps your body anticipate meals, leading to smoother hormonal responses. Giving your body several hours between meals without constant snacking allows insulin to drop and fat burning to resume. And if you occasionally indulge or skip a workout, it's okay. Your progress depends on patterns, not perfection. This is where many people find relief. The goal isn't to control every bite or every moment, but to build a lifestyle that keeps your body in a rhythm it can trust. When you stay hydrated, eat balanced meals, move regularly, rest deeply, and care for your mind, your hormones begin to follow your lead. Over time, these habits create an environment where insulin no longer overreacts. Your metabolism becomes stable, cravings ease, and your body naturally maintains a healthy weight. The beauty of these habits is that they reinforce each other. Better sleep reduces cravings, movement improves mood, hydration supports energy, and balanced meals make you less likely to stress eat. Each small action supports the next. It's not about intensity or quick results, it's about repetition and alignment. When your body receives the same calming signals day after day, it learns that it's safe to release stored fat. That's how true effortless fat loss happens, not through deprivation, but through steady care. Over time, as you practice these habits, you'll notice more than physical changes. You'll feel clearer, calmer, and more confident in your body. Your energy won't depend on caffeine or sugar, and your hunger will feel balanced instead of chaotic. These small daily actions, balanced breakfasts, gentle walks, water, rest, and moments of peace create a ripple effect that transforms your metabolism, your mood, and your relationship with food. Consistency is the language your hormones understand, and when you speak it fluently, your body responds with lasting, effortless balance. When you start to see insulin not as the villain, but as a powerful messenger, everything about how you view health begins to change. The goal isn't to suppress it or to manipulate your body into submission. It's to create balance, to restore a healthy conversation between your hormones, your metabolism, and your daily habits. Insulin is part of a finely tuned orchestra that also includes cortisol, leptin, ghrelin, and thyroid hormones. When one instrument is out of tune, the whole system sounds off. But when you give your body the right conditions, consistent nourishment, rest, movement, and peace, it naturally finds harmony again. That's when real transformation happens, not just in your weight, but in your energy, focus, and emotional well-being. For many people, the journey toward better insulin health becomes a journey toward reconnecting with their body. Instead of fighting it, you begin to listen to it. You start to recognize the subtle signals, like when you're actually hungry, when you're full, or when you're just tired or stressed. You notice that your body isn't working against you. It's been trying to communicate with you all along. When insulin and other hormones are in balance, those signals become clearer and more trustworthy. You no longer have to rely on willpower alone because your biology starts supporting your goals instead of resisting them. As insulin sensitivity improves, so does nearly every aspect of your health. Your energy stabilizes throughout the day because your body has constant access to fuel. Your brain fog lifts as blood sugar stops swinging wildly. Inflammation decreases, leading to clearer skin, better digestion, and even a more stable mood. Sleep deepens because your stress hormones no longer stay elevated at night. You wake up feeling rested instead of drained. These changes might sound small, but they accumulate into something profound. A body that feels aligned, steady, and capable again. What's remarkable is that the same steps that heal insulin also heal the rest of you. When you eat in balance, your gut microbiome thrives, which supports your immune system and mental health. When you move regularly, your circulation improves and your cells receive more oxygen, helping them function optimally. When you sleep well, your brain clears toxins, resets hormones, and consolidates memory. When you manage stress, your nervous system calms, and your body shifts from survival mode into repair mode. Every small choice that stabilizes insulin contributes to a larger ecosystem of healing inside you. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that health requires perfection, that you have to eat flawlessly, exercise daily, or never feel stressed. But real balance doesn't look like that. It looks like flexibility. It looks like knowing that if one day isn't perfect, your body can still find its way back because you've built a foundation of consistency. Healing isn't about eliminating every trigger. It's about creating enough stability that your system can adapt and recover. Insulin balance is the same. It doesn't demand perfection. It thrives on rhythm, patience, and compassion. When you begin to trust your body, something shifts on a deeper level. You stop approaching health from a place of fear or punishment. You no longer feel the need to fix yourself because you realize your body isn't broken. It's just been overwhelmed. Every cell in your body wants to heal. It's wired for repair and renewal. When you nourish it properly, when you let it rest, when you move it in ways that feel good, you activate that natural intelligence. Your body already knows how to find balance. Your role is simply to stop interfering and start supporting it. This is why sustainable fat loss and lasting energy aren't about restriction, they're about restoration. When insulin, metabolism, and lifestyle work together, your body naturally settles into its healthiest state. You don't have to micromanage every calorie or obsess over every rule. You can trust the process because you've rebuilt the foundation that keeps everything in sync. The peace that comes from that trust is more valuable than any diet result. It's the feeling of finally being at home in your body again. As you keep practicing these habits, balanced eating, mindful movement, hydration, rest, and stress care, remember that every small effort adds up. Healing happens gradually through consistency and compassion. Some days will feel effortless, others may feel like a step backward. That's okay. Balance isn't a straight line, it's a rhythm, a dance between effort and rest. The more you allow your body to participate in that rhythm, the stronger your metabolism becomes and the more energy, stability, and joy you'll feel. The truth is, your body isn't your obstacle, it's your ally. It's constantly working to protect you, to adapt, and to heal. And when you finally give it the care, time, and nourishment it's been asking for, it responds in extraordinary ways. The same insulin that once held you back becomes your partner in energy and health. This is where real transformation begins, not in restriction, but in the deep trust that your body knows how to heal when you give it the space and support to do so.